Hey, what's up guys? Josh here, Project Silvia update. For you guys that are new to the channel, all the new subscribers, thank you very much. I see there's been about 80 subscribers in the last month, so I appreciate that. Let's keep the growth going on the channel. But as far as my Silvia, I've got the front end completely taken apart, and the reason why is when I was looking behind, there's some areas of damage which I saw, so I wanted to get behind there. And also the front mount intercooler, all the piping was really rusty. So I've got the front bumper support brace off. I've got the truss intercooler removed, all the piping removed, and I'm gonna take all this stuff to the powder coater and have it all sandblasted and repowder coated, and I'm gonna get rid of like these pipes and stuff that aren't needed on there. So I'm gonna cut those off and take it to a metal welding shop and have them weld in a piece that's going to flatten off these areas, especially on this, and then I'll grind it down with my die grinders and get it all cleaned up so it looks presentable. You can see with this intercooler piping how it's worn and starting to crack, and I wonder how old this stuff is. How old do you guys think this metal intercooler piping is? I would say it's got to be like late 90s, I would think. I haven't seen anybody really use steel, especially on like one of the major Japanese brands like Greddy or HKS or Blitz or anything like that. Like pretty much everything that I've ever seen since I've been in the import scene has always been aluminum. So, but as far as the engine build, I went ahead and I got the valve cover removed. I'm gonna get this all cleaned up inside. I'm gonna drop this off, get it sandblasted and powder coated in high gloss black. This car has a TD06 turbo, TD06S I believe. And I went ahead and removed all the ugly heat shielding that was behind there, and I ordered myself a proper Greddy turbo blanket, one of the titanium ones, so that's coming. That's going to dress that up and make it look a lot nicer. And figure while I'm in here, I'm going to move all these brackets and stuff out of the way, and I'm going to clean up all these areas of rust. I'll just lightly sand them down and treat them, put a little primer over it, and then just spray some paint. I'm going to go to Wesco Paints, and they're going to paint match my color code and put it in a spray can. So I'll just spray it. It's going to look a hell of a lot better. So I contacted Greddy in Japan. I sent them an email because this downpipe is really rusty and looks pretty bad. Like it's going to start probably leaking. So I don't want to try to restore that or anything like that. So I contacted them, let them know that I have this exact turbo, and showed them that they still offer the kit. And I asked them if they would sell me or let me just buy that downpipe part as well as this intercooler piping. You can see I got the engine bay cleaned up. So I got that all stripped down. But this turned out pretty good. I mean, it's way better than it was. But this looks so much better, especially on the back. I mean, that whole area was black. You can even see the VIN number on the car before. Now you can. Has an oil filter relocate down below. Kind of cool. I'm not sure if that's a Greddy or what it is. Everything else in the car is all Greddy parts. And with the Greddy ProFec boost controller, I couldn't figure out why it had no power on the inside, so I started tracing the wires from it, and I found that the wire here is frayed and cut off, so this is definitely going to need to be replaced. And I went ahead and removed all these old epoxy spark plugs. So those are all removed, coils are out. Those are NGK Iridium. I bought myself a new pack. And I'm probably gonna go ahead and clean the throttle body as well. You can see all the carbon kind of built up in that area. So I'm gonna go ahead and spray some cleaner in there and get that all cleaned up, and I'll probably take off the throttle positioner sensor and just make sure everything's looking clean. This thing needs to be gone through. It's so sad. I mean, you can tell that somebody put a lot of money and time into this thing to originally build it, and then just to let it kind of just sit and decay is just so sad. But that's where the JDM car community like us, that's where we come in and we restore something that was once great, and we put our own take on it, our own twist on it, and we make it ours. And I'm excited to see what this thing's going to be when I'm done. I went ahead and took off the epoxy air filter, and you can see, I don't know what happened. I don't know why this thing is all dented. It was brand new, so I don't know if somebody like hit something against it on accident or what happened, but it just looks like crap. but still works functionality wise. On the inside looks good. And I got the stock mass airflow sensor. What should I use to clean that, or should I even try to clean it? Structural damage in this area from a frontal impact, which you can see signs of right here. So you can see this whole front structure here is dented in and deformed, and it was poorly repaired, and it's caused this entire area to rust, which is extremely frustrating. And you can see how the fender comes down and connects in. So basically everything behind here has been compromised, and it was undisclosed on the auction sheet. So pretty frustrating. I'm going to grind it down and preserve it. But the rest of the car is pretty clean. No more rust or decay any more than what be expected. And I went ahead and I've cleaned the car with clay. So this has all been cleaned all the way down to the bare paint. And you can see that you can hear my finger when it slides over there. There's really no fallout or anything left on the car. I still need to go through these little areas like along the trim to get it finished cleaned up, but I wanted to, before I start polishing and finishing this stuff up, I wanted to kind of go through the engine itself and kind of see what stuff I need to get on order and kind of where this is at. So once I kind of go through here and get all my stuff on order, get my parts coming, then I'll finish the body. And then once I get the engine dialed, then I'll start going through the suspension, the brakes, the bushings, the ball joints, the knuckles, all that stuff, brake lines, brake pads. Maybe suspension themselves or control arms, tension rods, all that stuff, tie rod ends. So if you guys like that type of stuff and that type of content, subscribe to the channel and we'll learn about it together. Oh yeah, and this is cool too. So I was looking in the ECU, and it's a factory ECU, which is nice. I was hoping it didn't have a tuned ECU where it was going to be running lean. And then under here, I don't see any rust along the floor or anything like that, so that's good. But yeah, I got the seats all cleaned up. These turn out really good. Looks really good in here. But yeah, I got the roof all scrubbed, the seats are scrubbed, the back seats are scrubbed. Next thing I'm gonna do is remove the floorboard. Or not the floorboard, but the seat, so I can clean all the floor carpet. That's the last thing I need to clean. But yeah, I'm happy with the car. I really like the interior on this thing. It's so much nicer than the Skyline, like the door card panel and everything itself. It's just the design, you can tell they spent a lot more time on it. Feels like a little bit nicer interior to me than the Skyline is. So doing a little interior cleanup. I'm missing a seat belt bracket on that side, so I need to order one. And then I've got the seats out, and I'm gonna go ahead and get all the floor carpet cleaned because it's pretty dirty and I want the car to smell good and look good inside. So we're gonna get that cleaned up today. I'm pretty much done with the interior carpet. It's all scrubbed and it's pretty much coming up clean now. So took 4 buckets of water and I went over all the carpet about 3 different times to get it looking good. So it's just gonna dry. Everything's nice and clean in here. Finish going around the edges. I'm gonna take off those Razzo pedals because I think they look stupid. I've cut the hood with 1500 and 2000 grit wet sandpaper. And I'm just trying to get the orange peel out of the clear coat. And you can see the hood has been cut pretty good. So I don't want to go through the clear coat itself. There's 3 layers of clear coat on this, and I haven't cut paint before. So I think 1500 and 2000 grit, and then I'll spend a lot of time with the polisher to get it looking the rest of the way good. And I went ahead and kind of peeled this back so you can see the damage. So I'm gonna have to go ahead and remove this rear bumper and remove this little side skirt piece to get in here, because this is going to have to be addressed, otherwise that's going to rust out and continue to decay. So I'm a little frustrated with this car because I bought it through, I think it was like JAA auctions versus like a USS auction house, and JAA auctions aren't quite as reputable as far as like the inspections and stuff. So I knew I was kind of gambling a little bit when I bought this car, and yeah, I kind of feel like I got screwed on a few things with it, but I think it'll still be a good car. It's still going to last. It's not going to completely rust out and fall apart on me. But let me know what you guys would do. For you body guys, How would you address this rust area? I was thinking about just grinding this thing down with like a wire wheel. Just grind it all down and then put like some VHT metal rust converter. Probably spray like some primer and then just like a few layers of good automotive paint. I think that'll preserve it enough. Same thing back in here. I'm gonna have to grind all that down because I don't want this thing to completely rust out. But yeah, if I keep the car, I'm gonna use it for a drift car anyway, so I'm gonna end up beating the hell out of it. My wife wants me to sell it, so that's kind of undecided. I'm having trouble getting these turn indicators off the bumper because they're all basically like rusted into place, so I'm not sure how I'm gonna get those removed. I might have to cut them off and then figure out a way to repair it. I'm not sure, but these are stuck. But yeah, you can see this bumper was just beat to hell. I don't even think this was the original bumper for the car. And the issue I was having with this particular truss intercooler is the core is a different size, so I can't just order the new F23 or an LS piping kit because it won't fit with this because it's an older HKS kit. And I'm trying to do a cost-effective build. If I want to order the big size intercooler like I have there, that's $1,150 plus shipping plus tax. And that's just a lot of money. I don't want to spend $1,300 to $1,400 when I can just take that to a powder coater and take it to a shop and do some welding and do a little grinding and get some powder coating done for probably 200 bucks, and it'll work, you know, just as effectively. Some cool stuff. This has an oil cooler kit with all the lines that are all run. Don't know what brand it is. I don't recognize it. I don't see any markings or anything of any kind on it. Actually, Earl's. Oh, it's an Earl's oil cooler. And I've got an oil filter relocation kit in here. That must be Earl's as well. Previous owner put a lot of money into gauges, so I've got oil temp, I've got oil pressure, I've got water temp here, we've got boost pressure over there, and exhaust temperature as well. And I got rid of that ugly tack that's on the inside here, and I'm not sure what that is back there. If you guys know what that is, let me know. I've got a bunch of accessories and stuff on order from Japan, so I'm going to be replacing just the driver's side here because it's peeled up and looks like crap. I've got this valve cover piece was damaged, was stripped out, so got that in order. I'm missing one of the cam nuts because I dropped it and I can't find it. And valve cover gasket, spark plug gaskets. So once all that stuff comes, I can restart the reassembly and hopefully get this thing on the road within the next 30 days is my goal. So 1 month from today, which would be what, the 26th of May, we'll be trying to get this thing at least road ready so I can take it in, get the alignment done. I'm gonna hook it up with the stock mass airflow sensor and run the entire stock system and take it to a shop that can tune it, because I tried taking this thing to Up Garage and the owner is adamant about not tuning this thing because it has a streamer pipe with the external wastegate and he doesn't want to breathe the fumes. So I'm gonna have to find a different shop that will tune it that isn't so sensitive to that type of stuff, because if I can run the stock, ECU and run the AFC and just kind of tune the air fuel, I'd be happy with that. I'm not looking at building a huge, powerful car for now, and I want something that's cost effective. I've already spent like $5,000 on the Skyline, so this car, I don't really have the funds to go out and buy a bigger set of fuel injectors and fuel pump and standalone engine management system and get the thing all dyno tuned. It's just not in the cards for me right now. I just want to get it on the road and do it cost effectively for now. Got all these rusty bumper brackets that hold the bumper and stuff on. I'm gonna get those all sandblasted, powder coated, hybridized black. Same thing with the hood latch. That mechanism is just all beat up, so I'm gonna get those all cleaned up so when at least you open the engine bay, it's gonna look nice. And now I'm gonna take all these items off, strip all this stuff back, and I'm gonna do a fresh coat of paint over everything. Basically, when you pop the hood, everything that you see is going to be freshly coated with paint. Not back in that area, but around the strut towers and around this area and the initial front surface area that you see. Yeah, and this stuff I'm not going to disassemble. I'm going to have them strip it all put together and just powder coat it, because these nuts and stuff aren't going to be able to be taken off. They're just going to break. At least it'll preserve it. And I need to dismount my blow-off valve from the piping still from that flange. But yeah, this stuff, I mean, you can see all the rust. All that rust inside the piping. I mean, all those fine particles are probably breaking off and going into the engine, and that is definitely not good. So this intercooler piping kit definitely needs a little bit of TLC, but I'm confident we can make it look pretty good. What do you guys think? Let me know. Should I restore this for probably a couple $100s, or should I spend $1,300 and buy a brand new intercooler system? And since everything was dry, it was nice and sunny yesterday, I went ahead and reassembled the interior at least today, so I got all that seats and everything out of my way in the garage to have more space to move around. So this stuff all turned out really good. It smells a lot better in here. I want your guys' advice. I had to remove that nasty gauge cluster from the dash, that tack, huge ugly tack. But how do you guys think I should repair this? I think I'm gonna just razor blade it down to get it flat, to cut these areas out. And then maybe, I don't know. I was almost thinking like texture for inside of a house, like spackle. Spackle the holes and then like sand it down flat, and then like create some indentations to make it kind of look to match the dash. And then paint it black, or I could just put like black RTV in those holes. What do you guys think for ideas to fix that? Let me know in the comments down below, please. I would love the advice. And then for that Profec, do you guys think it'd be worth keeping this and just putting in like a new harness and rewiring it, or should I just do like a modern Profec boost controller for 300 bucks, or like an HKS boost controller, which are like $500? I don't have a lot of money to spend on this car right now because my wife is not on board, so I got to keep the wife. I got to keep my wife happy. Happy wife, happy life, and I don't like when she's mad at me, so I got to respect her wishes the best I can with my build. So the biggest reason I decided to go ahead and replace that intercooler, so I stopped by the welding shop and had them kind of give me a price adjustment, or a price quote of what it would cost to modify the piping. And then between the cost of that and the sandblasting and powder coating, I was almost $300 into that. So I figured, why not replace with a whole new brand new aluminum kit, which is going to look much better with the bumper. It's going to fit in the opening, and the car is going to come together, and it's going to look a lot nicer. It's going to be aluminum versus steel, never have to be redone. And I went ahead and ordered a brand new Greddy aluminum flange. It could be welded onto that LS intercooler piping, and this is going to mount perfectly to the Type R blow-off valve. This all works functionally just fine, so I'm going to reuse it and save some money. A little bit of work to make it fit, but I think we can do it. Well, we're going to go ahead and end today's video here. I wanted to do a little bit of an update with you guys and kind of show you where I'm at along with my project. I got a lot on my plate, and I don't have a lot of time to do it between working a full-time job, being married with 3 kids and a house and everything that goes with that. So anyway, if you guys like the video, please give me a thumbs up down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And yeah, I'll be back with more content as soon as I can get the time to get it edited and get the footage uploaded to YouTube. So anyway guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.